Alright guys, where am I going to start with this? So my mom and I went to see Supergirl at IMAX tonight. I booked these tickets back on June 1st, paid $50, right? $50 so I could see the fan-first screenings 2 days before the release. Today is June 24th, 2026. And guess what? I was completely wrong. This movie sucked. And let me tell you why it sucked. It really goes back. You know what? I'm going to have in the background a little bit sometimes the video I made critiquing Tom King's shitty book. It all goes back to that video. My past self from that time was and is still correct. It was terrible. Now look, because I changed my mind on Superman 2025, I was extremely excited about this. Really, I was. And of course I told you last night my doubts and my worries. And guess what? My worries were mostly correct. They were mostly correct. And not only were my worries and concerns correct, it was worse. It was worse than I thought it was going to be. Somehow, the director and the writer, they took, which already is shit source material, Tom King's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, already a horrible, shitty source to go by. Somehow, they made the movie worse than the book. And if you think I'm joking, I'm not. The book was better 10 times. I mean, it's shit, right? You're gonna say, what is this guy talking about? Here's what I mean. Now, the book is shit because the writing is horrible. Tom King sucks. I don't know why they're pushing this guy to this day. Just because he was in the CIA? I don't know. You tell me. But the only redeeming factor of Tom King's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow was the artwork. The artwork. It was gorgeous. Whoever colored that 8-issue miniseries, it was mostly gorgeous. If I remember right, issue 4 was a bit drab. But most of the issues, from the beginning to the end, were colorful, beautiful, very nice. And I actually remember in the review, in the critique of my 1 hour or so critique of that book, I remember saying at one point, what's so confusing about this book is Tom King turning Kara into a nasty, drunk, mean bitch and having these kind of adult themes in it, while at the same time using like this cartoony, childish art style, right, to present his story, which was a good art style though. I'm not shitting on the art style, but the art style didn't fit Tom King's psycho bullshit that he normally writes. You see what I'm saying? So, here's the crazy part. The movie is worse than the book. I didn't know that was possible because the book is so atrocious. Somehow the movie is worse. Why is it worse? I'll finally tell you. For one, it doesn't use any of the gorgeous artwork or the concepts of that book, right? Like, for example, all of the planets that they visit in the movie, ugly, barren, disgusting, no color, bland, right? At the end of the book, where they're fighting Krem, the horrible villain that sucks, terribly written, it at least what was so nice about the final battle, where Kara's fighting him on the battleship in the book, and the annoying little character Ruthie, she's on this beautiful beach, like this alien beach with blues and greens, and it's an absolutely beautiful work of art, the landscape work that they did in the comic, right? They don't even bring that planet's artwork into the movie. It doesn't exist. It's like the reason why everybody is saying it looks like Mad Max is, to me, they might be using that as a compliment, but to me that's not a compliment because it's ugly, it's boring, and it's bland. I don't like apocalyptic, deserty, a wasteland, borderlands shit. It bores me. And You know I love the latest Supergirl run by Sophie Campbell because of how colorful and lighthearted and fun it is, right? That's Supergirl. And you can do serious stuff with her. I'm not saying you can't. Peter David does a great job with her, but it still retains a soul, right? It's colorful in its own way, and it's very, very imaginative, Peter David's run. As serious and as dark, and I mean dark. It gets dark, bro. Like, it brings in Satan in it. It brings in all this dark shit inside of it. So, as dark as Peter David's run gets, it still has this beautiful imagination to it, this fuel behind it, and the design and the artwork on it is memorable. I love Peter David's run. So, yes, you can still do serious stuff with Supergirl just like Superman. But back to my point. So I knew that the Ruthie character was going to suck in the movie as much as she sucked in the comic. I mean, even worse, bro. I mean, her lines are horrible as it is, and they even kept the way that she speaks in the comics in the movie. And she, even my mom was like, she's like some kind of Addams Family character. She's creepy, she's weird. She didn't like her at all, you know? Totally unrelatable, totally boring. I mean, even when her entire family dies in the movie, it was so predictable, so generically done, right? And there's a part where her brother comes out of nowhere, and he didn't notice that these bad guys were, like, harassing the parents in the kitchen, and he sees his sister Ruthie, and he's like, boo! And then the bad guy, like, throws an axe behind his back, killing her brother and all this shit. The build-up was poor. It was terrible. I didn't give a shit about her still. Like, I figured, okay, at least the movie might do a good job at making this character interesting and making something happen here. I'm telling you, it's worse than the book. And now, the reason why I want to make this such a big video, I feel like this is like a whole, like, a 360, man. It's like I'm back to where I started with this channel. I started this channel criticizing Superman, right? Criticizing Superman movie 2025. And now here we are, Supergirl 2026, right? So I just find this kind of like a coming around moment. It's kind of a landmark moment for my little humble channel and for myself. So I really want to talk about this. And let me talk about Millie Alcock. Alright, I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I glossed over the stupid shit she said while she's drunk in real life. Like 24/7. She's on something. I don't know. Maybe she's doing this, drinking too much, doing something. She's doing some crazy shit, right? Glossed over that because, you know, I figured it's like Anthony Hopkins said a long time ago. Actors are mostly stupid. Don't listen to them. Right? I gave her the benefit of the doubt. And let me tell you something. Not only did she not deliver, she was terrible. She was uninteresting, boring, and not all of it was her fault. Because look, even in the shit comic, right? The artwork is great. Even in the shit comic, most of the time Supergirl is wearing her Supergirl suit. But she has the trench coat on, and then eventually she takes off the trench coat and you see the full cape. But throughout most of this movie, she's just wearing the trench coat and a Blondie t-shirt. You know, the singer from, like, whatever, the 80s or whatever. And then she puts on the Supergirl outfit, like, at the last 20 minutes of the 15 minutes of the movie. And it didn't... So it didn't feel like anything. It literally had no substance. It didn't feel like Supergirl, right? Like, when you're watching Superman 2025, there are so many moments like, there's my boy. There's Superman. There he is doing his thing. There's Superman. There he is, right? I didn't get any of that shit from this. There was no Supergirl. There was no Supergirl moment. Like, oh, there she is. There she is. It's just, you want to know something? The trailers, which are better than the movie, that's all you need to know. Just watch the trailer, Broken Hearted. Trailer number 2, I think. That's it. That's the whole movie. Right? Because everything else that you don't see in the trailers, shit. Forgettable. Mush. Nothing. Should I even... I don't know if I should talk about Lobo in this video or make that an entire separate video. Right? I'm not even sure, to be honest with you, because that is a whole other subject. there was this entire hype behind Jason Momoa's Lobo. This whole hype that there was going to be, oh, and I'm blue because I had a slushie, right? I should even get the cup just to prove to you that I was there. All right, I'm back. But like, look, here's proof that I was there. I bought since I bought the tickets for $50 for me and my mom was like, oh, let me get you a cup, you know, so we can remember this night, because she knew how excited I was to see Supergirl. And look, for clarification, I'm not one of these dudes on the internet who has been frothing at the mouth to say, oh, see, Supergirl sucked. It sucked. It sucked. Right? And I wasn't one of these liberals who were like, I hate those guys, and I'm going to say it's going to be amazing because I hate those guys. Right? I was saying I'm genuinely excited for it because I love Superman 2025 now, and I'm a big Superman fan anyway. So I wanted this to be good for the sake of the Super Family stuff that I love, for Superman, the comics, all that stuff, right? So I genuinely I knew it was going to have problems because it's based off of the Tom King book, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. It's awful, awful. And I'm not crazy, because as we left the theater tonight, there was a father with his little daughter that he brought to see it tonight too, and they were walking out, we were walking out, and I heard them talking about like they didn't like it. The little girl didn't like what they did to Crypto. Right, all the shit I said about the Tom King book in my critique, I called that shit out in that video. And there was the girl and the father saying the same thing. So I was absolutely right about these critiques, that this would not make a good subject. This was the worst Supergirl you could have picked to put on the big screen. Melissa Benoist, CW, is golden, right? Even the worst Season 5 and 6, as horrible as Season 5 and 6 was, I would rather rewatch Season 5 and 6 than watch this ever again. Or say anything good about this movie again. No, but I'm not even saying that as a slight at Melissa Benoist, because I made videos about how the CW show is gold. Mostly. And I even made a video that I said, James Gunn, can he learn? He should take some lessons from the CW show, right? Right? Remember that, guys? Remember? Well, guess what? I think I was right. Because Melissa Benoist did a good Supergirl. She had the hope, the optimism down. She wasn't a bitch. And here's the thing, you're going to say, oh, well, you don't like that. You don't, a woman can't be bitch. No, that's not it. So not only did they completely fuck that all up, right? They really fucked up at the end. And I'm going to spoil it. I don't give a shit. If you don't want to hear spoilers, shut this off. But if you don't care and you want to hear what my complaints are and why I think they're valid, stay tuned. Here's why. There's a scene where she's about to murder the villain, right? Cut his head off. But she's doing it to get Ruthie to react and to stop her, because she realizes that vengeance is wrong. They don't kill Krem. They put him in the Phantom Zone for a long time. They bring him back when he's an old man. They still don't... I thought they killed him at the end of the book, but all it was Ruthie hit him over the head with her cane and then left him, right? So they never kill him in the book. Which is somehow Tom King got that right about Supergirl. He kept that true to her character. She doesn't kill anybody. But they said, fuck that. Not only are we going to fuck it up and make it worse than the shit book, we're going to fuck it up big time. This is worse, I think, than what they did to Batman with the Ben Affleck, where he was killing people. What does Supergirl do at the end of this movie? She actually kills the villain. She thrusts the sword in his chest, and then she thrusts it in his neck and kills him, and that's it. And Lobo smiles at the end, right? So she kills. She kills. Why is that worse than the Ben Affleck one? At least when Batman Ben Affleck was killing people, even though Batman never kills, the reason why for me it was a bit more forgivable was because it was kind of like Snyderverse bullshit, and we could all talk about that another time. But at least it was a setup where it was so dark. Batman was kind of at a point of his life where he lost Jason Todd, and he didn't give a shit about anymore. And Snyder wanted to give us this kind of like, I don't give a fuck Batman. Fine. Fine. You know what I mean? So at least Batman was really dark and edgy, but you could do that with Batman. But this is Supergirl, and now they present us to her like this is, and she's going to be this hopeful, now she's going to change her ways with Superman in the next movie, right? But she murdered somebody, and she did it like it was no big deal. It was no big deal. I mean, yeah, of course he deserved it as a villain, but this is kind of sacrilege, in my opinion. I mean, it was sacrilege when they did it with Batman, but for some reason it didn't bother me as much. And don't say, it's because he's a man. No, I'd be pissed off if Superman did it. Sometimes it pisses me off that Superman never does it, sometimes, you know? But he can't do it. Like there are times where he did murder people, like in the John Byrne run, where he was under the mind control of Darkseid. But they made him forget about all that. Like, they completely erased that from his mind, and they're just like, nope, that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? But he did do bad stuff. But the way they did it in here, I mean, oh my god, they completely fucked up. James Gunn fucked up, letting this director Gillespie, and the writer, whoever she was, man, they fucked. And I know I'm not crazy, not just because the father and the daughter are coming out of the movie theaters that we saw. And then I even, the father was talking to the daughter. He's like, well, at least I think Man of Tomorrow next year will be better. And I'm like, yeah, it will be better, bro. And then we were talking a little bit. And he said, like, Supergirl 1984 was so much better. I'm like, absolutely. And I mean, even with the faults of that movie, Faye Dunaway as a villainess was funny and fun. Supergirl looked just like the Paul Kupperberg comics from 1984 that I like. So it was true to the comic, at least like how it looked visually. This wasn't even true to the shitty comic. It didn't keep up with the artwork at all. It didn't have any good messages in it. It was total trash. Absolute trash. I wanted to get out of the movies. I felt like I was being tortured for an hour and 38 minutes. And I gave $50 to these bastards. And me of all people should know better. I should know better. I've been a rebel about this stuff for a long time. But I'm a sucker when it comes to Superman and the family. But I can't tell you any redeeming quality from this movie at all. I can't think of it at all. I mean, and it's not like, oh, so many things happened at once that maybe I have to watch it again. Like, it was so slow moving and nothing happens. And I was talking to Mom, like, about the scenes where they've got, they're showing her Krypton flashbacks where they're on Argus, where they escape Krypton and they're living on that, and everybody ends up dying because of the kryptonite in the soil poisoning everybody, and then her father gets her out of there. Didn't do anything for me. Didn't do anything for me. It was boring. Lame. Right? And you see, the way they did the parents bad in Superman 2025, I understand people's criticisms with that, but I think it was good because it was like Superman didn't become that. So this kind of break of reality made him more of a stronger man and more of a better person to realize that he was supposed to be something evil. But instead, but of course it goes against everything that Superman's parents have always stood for in the comics. I understand that. But for me, the movie was good. I still enjoyed the Superman 25 movie. But this was... I don't understand. Why did you have to choose the Tom King book? Like, can somebody answer this question to me? Why are they pushing Tom King's iteration of Supergirl so hard on the masses? Does anybody have a good working theory on this? Because we have so much Supergirl stuff that could be used. Could somebody tell me why you think, and don't tell me, oh, because the Supergirl book was a top-selling blah, blah, blah in this category or that category. Maybe, I don't know. But there's something wrong here. There's something off here. Because I didn't get good vibes from the audience either that I was around. And I could tell there were some hardcore fans like me. They were wearing the shirts and stuff. And I came in with my gear and all that. We got the cup. I wanted to get the cup as a memory thing. Which, I know they're making a joke out of it because, honestly, this thing looks more like a flesh toy. This would have been better off without the trench coat, guys. Who thought the trench coat was a good idea? I wouldn't... This looks cool without the trench coat, Crypto's cool on the top, though. You got little Crypto on the top. And they had one with Lobo, and they had one with Supergirl. Mom was like, you got enough Supergirl stuff. Here's Crypto. Get the one with Crypto. I'm like, thanks, Mom. You know, because I bought the tickets, and she wanted to do something. So, like, let me just get a drink here. If it's still recording, I don't want to lose any of this. This is some good shit, guys. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know I'm a genuine fan. And I go back and forth sometimes because I don't do the culture war stuff. You know, I don't take a side. This isn't like that scene in, what was that Fantastic Beast, the horrible, you know, trilogy that they made after Harry Potter. Fantastic Beast, I forgot which one it was, either the second or the third movie, where the guy's brother was talking to him about fighting Voldemort. And they're like, well, you can't be on no one's side, brother. You have to eventually pick a side here. Well, I don't feel that way. And I still don't feel like taking the people on the right side completely. But I gotta say, like, this movie is not making... It's making their argument look good. With all their bullshit. Because this movie was awful. And I'm gonna sound mean here. And I'm never the type to really talk like this. But Millie Alcock, she's not ugly in real life. I could see that. And there were some scenes she isn't. But most of the movie, she's ugly. Like it's embarrassing the way how ugly they make her in some scenes. Like, it looks like there's something wrong with this woman. She's not Melissa Benoist. And Melissa Benoist, like, she wasn't perfect. The Supergirl from CW. Not perfect. Not the most beautiful woman ever who could be Supergirl. But, like, I liked her face a lot. She was very expressive in her emotions a lot. Season 5 and 6, not so much. They kind of made her annoying. But from seasons 1 to 4, mostly, very expressive, very fun. Season 2, for me, was peak. I still have a ton of videos that I've recorded about all the seasons that I've watched and why I love them. I never put them up, though. I have them recorded, and I'm just too lazy to edit them and put them out, and I feel like it's too late now, you know what I mean? But you get the gist. Like, I love the CW shows. The lesbian stuff was annoying with her sister, Alex, but a lot of the Supergirl stuff and the supporting characters, like Martian Manhunter, was phenomenal. I go down the list. They had a lot of great supporting characters for me in the Supergirl CW show. That's just how I feel. So anyway, not surprised because this is based off the Tom King book. Not a single good supporting character. And I am taking back what I said about Jason Momoa. I complimented him in my past couple of videos. I said that Jason Momoa was going to be the Daryl Dixon of DC. He was going to bring juice, right? He was going to bring balls to the DC. Jason Momoa fucking failed. Now, anybody telling you he was great, he was born to be Lobo, this is propaganda. This is marketing. They're pushing bullshit on us. And I like Jason Momoa. Don't get me started. Don't say you hate him. Don't say all this bullshit you come up with on the internet. I like Aquaman 1, and I like Aquaman 2, as goofy as that is. I like Jason Momoa. But sorry, the hype, the marketing for Lobo was total bullshit. And of course it's not a surprise. I know marketing. I know all the... I got caught up a little bit in some of it. I got caught up in some of it, okay? I was excited about Jason Momoa being as Lobo. I was excited about Lobo and Supergirl being in the same film. But it was a complete fuck-up. He was barely in it, and the moments he was in it, it felt like a horrible cosplay. It felt like... I mean, even the voice... I thought he was going to be, like, when I think of Lobo, I mean, I think of a really rambunctious son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I read something on Lobo, I think of, like, I'm here, bitches. Pistachios, what are you doing? Get out of my way, motherfucker. I mean, not exactly like that, but, like, a really loud, rambunctious motherfucker. That's how I hear Lobo in my brain. You know what I'm saying? He was like, when he would say pistachios, it was a pistachios. What are you doing? I'm Lobo. I'm like, wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute, bro. Wait a second, Jason. My man. Momoa. My man. My man, dude. You badass. But I gotta ask you something. Are you telling me the truth that Lobo was like, you know, your childhood wannabe thing? Are you bullshitting me because you're marketing for Supergirl? Anybody got that answer for me? Because let me tell you something. This was the worst performance I've ever seen. There was no heart in it. Oh, he does a couple of and he does the little chains like and he's fucking on his motorcycle and shit. But it's like, you know, this is not the genocidal maniac Lobo, right? Even the newest iterations. Let me get them. Let me fucking pull them out here. All right. Even the latest. Hold on. Even the latest next level DC stuff of Lobo. I'm still waiting for issue 4 to come in the mail. But you guys should read these new comics. Like, these new ones are actually good. Like, they're funny. They're cool. The art is, like, fucking bombastic and unique. Like, it reminds me of, like, something from the early 2000s. Like, just, like, doesn't give a fuck. Crazy bullshit. Like, it's really good. I'm enjoying the next level comics. Right? But, like, here's a compendium of the old Lobo. Right? From the Keith Griffin runs from Yonder Days. These are the original ones. I think they're making a second compendium. I hope they are, because I would like to have like a complete compendium of all this, you know? But like, dude, you look at these old Lobo comics, even just look at him there. Dude, right? You see him? You see him? Even look at that, right? Does Jason Momoa capture this? No! He looks like a ripoff Kiss singer. He looks like he doesn't look good at all. He doesn't, you know, all right, I won't be mean because like, all right, so maybe you might fuck up on the design. But how does he act? Does he act like him at least? Is he fun like him? No! He's boring! Like, they got him riding the motorcycle, they got him yelling a couple of times. But there's a scene where he's in the jail cell from the brigands, these, you know, generic villains that no one gives a fuck about. And I'm like, wait a minute, wait. Excuse me? You mean they have Lobo in a jail cell? And he can't, he's stuck there, he's just sitting there doing nothing? And who saves him? Little Ruthie? This little girl they have? Oh, you want to get how crazy, how stupid this movie is? I remember my criticism where Ruthie was fighting the main villain herself with her sword and like kicking him in the balls and stuff. And I remember saying like, this is ridiculous, right? A 13-year-old girl able to do that. No superpowers or anything. And able to kill a man who literally genocides multiple planets like nothing, right? Like, it was ridiculous in the book. They took that part out. But what they did was, where she was in a jail cell, there's like this really big asshole who's unchaining her. It's like, I don't want to die, please, I don't want to die. Let me live, I'll tell him anything he wants. And he unchains her. And he's like, okay, but just follow me and keep your mouth shut and don't do anything stupid. I mean, the really big, hulking guy. You know what I'm saying? And she's a 13-year-old girl. My name is Ruthie, and I want revenge for my parents. And I'm an annoying little twat. So this annoying little twat fools the big hulking guy. And she, like, does her little twirly shit. And then she gets him by the neck. And then she, like, chokes him with her legs or some shit. And knocks him out, hits his head on the thing, and then he falls. And then Lobo's like, that was great. And then she gets out of the jail cell, and she's leaving Lobo behind. He's like, wait a minute, you forgetting something? Yeah, I'm forgetting that Jason Momoa is a fucking shitty actor. So she comes back, she unlocks the jail cell, lets him out, and then, you know, shit happens, and blah, blah, blah. Oh my god, dude. I can't believe... You know, I was thinking too, like, oh, dude, it's going to be... Jason Momoa is going to be awesome. I thought it was going to be like an actual partnership. You know what I mean? Like, they would be together. No, it's not like that at all. Like, it's just he comes up once in a while on them, and they're doing the same thing, and that's it. But, like, it's not like an actual, like... They lied about that. Not surprised, but I mean, they really fucking falsely lied about that it was going to be a partnership with them. Because it wasn't. You know, it wasn't like some cool, like, three-way banter between them. No, it was like he just came in a couple times, in, out, in, out. Prestigious. You see that? It's a play on the word bitch. Did you get that? So funny. Now I'm going to say this. If they reward Jason Momoa with a Lobo movie after that performance, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. Because that does not deserve a reward. That was like somebody just clocking in and clocking out for their paycheck. There was no heart in that performance of Lobo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, you might say, oh, but your expectations are too high. You're reading Next Level DC. That's like a totally different level. It's next level. Of course. Of course, I wasn't expecting that. Too much of that. But I was expecting a little more than Lobo just sitting in a jail cell defeated and not doing anything and letting a 13-year-old girl get him out of a jail cell. Lobo would never do that. Lobo wouldn't even give a fuck about any of this. He wouldn't have even been here. He would have killed everybody already. I'm just speechless. Well, I'm not speechless. I keep going. No, I think this is important because if people do not recognize how bad this movie is, if people... I don't want to say this because I don't want to sound like I'm doing this because I'm like, you know, one of these culture war people, left or right. Both of you are assholes. Both of you are annoying. Both of you have destroyed entertainment in your own way with your politics. Both of you. The people on the right started off with a good reason to say things, but now it's just become a back and forth nonsense to distract us from shit. But I gotta say, I'm ashamed of myself that I went to the fan screening and I gave them $50. You know, my old self always, no matter what the movie, even a movie I know I was gonna like, I always go on Tuesday to spend $6 or $5. You know what I mean? Because I'm always like, I don't want to give Hollywood too much of my money. Fuck them. If I really want to see this, I'll just wait till Tuesday, right? No, I was hyped for this because I'm a super fan, right? I really wanted to see this. I was really hopeful that this was going to be great. You know who was the only good performance in this fucking movie? And who was only in it for like 5% of the entire movie? I mean, I'm not saying because I wasn't expecting him to be in it a lot. But David Cornsweet is I think he's got Superman nailed down. The few times that he played Superman, I'm like, there's my boy. There's my boy, Soupy. You know what I mean? But everybody else was like, no one. Lobo wasn't Lobo. Supergirl wasn't Supergirl. Ruthie is just a piece of shit that shouldn't exist in the first place. Oh, and Crypto, of course. Oh, and Crypto doesn't do anything for me. He didn't do anything for me. Just the cliche, like, oh, dog jumping around, being stupid. Dog gets shot by the guy with poison. Dog comes back to life at the end. It's like, he didn't... Dude, like, why? And I said this in the book, about the book as well. Crypto the Superdog, right? What kind of dumb motherfucker refuses to use Crypto, like, with his cape? Like, they did it in Superman 2025, right? Like, Supergirl next to Crypto in his cape would have been great. I can't. I'm sweating so much because I'm hot. My sweat is burning my iris. My eyeball retina is burning away. But guys, this is serious. This is big because if I'm not the only one who feels this way, and I think I'm not, this movie is going to bomb. And frankly, I hope it bombs. But, you know, I know Hollywood is going to do their propaganda stuff. And they're going to be like, no, the movie was expected to do this. And it's doing great. And then it's going to be internationally great. And great. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I love Supergirl. I love Supergirl. They did her dirty. They did her dirty. For the sake of Supergirl, I hope this bombs. And I know that sounds like totally like, wait, like, if you want Supergirl to do good, like, don't you want the movie to do good? Not really. Because if the movie does good, they're going to think that everybody likes an asshole Kara. You get what I'm saying? This is a fucked up situation. I mean, they're probably going to make her different in Man of Tomorrow because she's now wants to stay on Earth now. She wants to be played straight with Clark and everything. So maybe she'll be different, you know? But after this, it's very... I mean, they gotta do something different on Man of Tomorrow. They gotta just keep her in the suit with Superman doing super family shit, or no one's gonna give a shit about her. Like frankly, to me, this movie didn't do her any favors. Like, it didn't do her any favors at all. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Did any of you see it yet? You know, like, you know my thoughts. You've seen my videos. You know what I think. You know I'm not some bait guy that's just trying to get attention. Like, I'm a genuine fan. I love the comics. I love this stuff. But this was atrocious. And, you know what? I'm just going to say it all in one video. More on Jason Momoa. It was horrible. Horrible. I don't get why people are gonna just like it just because it's Jason Momoa. Like, I always make the joke with my mom, like Norman Reedus, right? He gets everything he wants and he doesn't do much. All he does is, like, he comes in, here comes Norman Reedus. And everybody fawns over, give him my panties, give him my underwear, you know what I'm saying? That's all. Norman just to be like, and he gets everything he wants. Jason Momoa, it's probably going to be the same thing. It's Momoa. And everybody's going to be like, ooh, give him what he wants. Give him a Lobo movie. Give him a Lobo movie. This movie has soured me so much. I'm not even going to watch any movie again in the movie theaters. And what I mean by that is, the last time I've been in the movies was maybe like 2 years ago when I saw Venom, Last Dance, whenever that came out. And I got tired of going to the movies because of the people around me. They were kind of annoying, rude. The people tonight were not rude, at least. So that was good. But frankly, even the advertisements before Supergirl, you know what I was also hoping for? That there would be like some kind of cool trailer for a new DC movie. They just played Clayface, which I've seen already, and, you know, okay. I was even saying to my mom in the movie theaters, like, bro, like, Ma, we still don't even have a Batman movie, and they're giving us a Clayface movie first? Like, does that make sense? Like, it doesn't make sense. And secondly, and they showed like a weird movie with Ethan, who's that guy who played Obi-Wan, the young guy, I forgot. I mean, I like him. I like the actor. Ewan McGregor is in some movie where a suburban area gets transported back in time to dinosaurs, and they have to survive in the suburbs with dinosaurs. It's like, bro, how fucking stupid are we becoming? And Dune #3, like, okay. Then there was another movie they showed. I don't even remember now. A Tom Cruise movie where they're like showing all of Tom Cruise's past movies, and it's like, it was all up for this movie, and it's like some comedy movie where he's playing some annoying, like, Southern dude or something. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I was going to see Spider-Man in the movie theaters, even though I don't like Tom Holland. I don't care that John Bernthal is Punisher. I didn't like him as Punisher. Controversial. I know when I say that to people, and they look at me like, what? You don't like John Bernthal as Punisher? I like John Bernthal. I like him. I like the idea of him as Punisher, but I didn't like how they did him as the Punisher. See what I mean? You want to talk about a cool Punisher? Garth Ennis. Max. Bro, that was peak Punisher, bro. Like, dark. Uber guns. Blah, 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 blah. Shooting down mafia guys. Blowing people's heads off. Going down the sewer. Doing it. Boom, boom, boom. Garth Ennis super Punisher was badass, bro. If you took John Bernthal and you took Garth Ennis' comic and made that together, bro, oh yeah, then I would say I love John Bernthal as the Punisher. But when I watched Punisher for the first time a few years ago, because I did like Daredevil, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna like the John Bernthal because I loved when John Bernthal was the Punisher in the Daredevil Netflix show. They did him great in that. But once they gave him the solo Punisher series, and I watched it, I hated it. Everybody was making such a big deal about it, and when I finally watched it, I was like, huh? You like this? Huh? The fuck? This sucks. It's gay. It's fake. It sucks. I was expecting Garth Ennis shit. This sucks. Sucks. I'd rather watch the shitty one with John Travolta again. Actually, I'll take that back. But you get what I'm saying. Anyway, I was going to watch Spider-Man Brand New Day, despite the fact that I don't like Tom Holland. I just like the idea of going to the movies to see Spidey on the big screen. Not going. Not going. Hollywood, you took enough of my money. $50 is all you're getting out of me this year. Maybe ever. I'll just wait to see Spider-Man on TV. I'll get it used or something. But I'm not giving you any more of my money. Not after tonight. Maybe I'll see Man of Tomorrow next year. Or maybe I'll just do the same thing and wait. Because you know what, man? I feel totally ripped off tonight. I feel completely ripped. I had a genuine excitement for this movie. I thought it was going to be at least have some moments, you know? But there wasn't a single moment in there where I said, there's Supergirl. There she is. There she is. There she is. Not a single moment. It was so bad. It was so bad. Holy shit. I think this is, I'm at the 31-minute mark, so this is going to make it about 40 minutes total. No, this is a big deal. This is, like I said, guys, this is kind of a landmark video because it's like hearkening back to my very first video about Superman 2025. So this is a very important video to me. And actually, in a way, it's June 2026, June 24th. Superman 2025 came out in June. I started this channel in August, so I was a month after. I'm 2 months after, but you get the gist. You get the gist. But man, this really soured me on movies again, and I'll be interested to see. I'm not. You know, I'm not one of these guys who watches the box office stuff. You know, but I will look at that, see what that is. But you know, if this movie is a big success somehow and makes a lot of money, it's not going to change my mind. If it's not a success, I'm not going to be surprised. But I'm just curious to see like the overreaction. Like, are people really going to like this? And if they do like it, I'm going to say like, I don't know. Are you guys smoking something? I don't see it. You know? Or is this going to be like, you know, kind of a quiet like we're going to broom it to the side and try to forget about that this happened. And you want to know why this also felt like a fucking con job? And I was joking in the theater when it ended and the credits went on and everybody started talking. And I didn't hear a lot of good stuff. I heard a lot of disappointment in the room. I really did. I was saying, our Marvel brains are so trained, we're all waiting for a secret scene. Now, Superman 2025 gave us it wasn't like a secret great scene. It was a funny scene where, the credits a little bit came on. Then they showed Mr. Terrific put the buildings back together and they made a joke that it wasn't perfect or something. And it was funny, you know. At least it gave you the courtesy of something funny. This movie not only gave you the middle finger and made it worse than the book, which was a piece of shit, it didn't even give you a secret ending to show you like maybe something in the future, maybe something to look forward to. It didn't even give you that. It didn't even give you a secret ending. What more of a middle finger can you give the audience? I'm telling you, this Tom King guy is poison. He's poison. Is this some kind of CIA stuff or something? Because he was in the CIA and they're trying to do something. It's not working, guys, if you're trying to change kids to be a certain way, because the kids that the father and his daughter that was there, they weren't impressed. It's not working on them. So whatever you're trying to do to them, it's not working, and I'm glad it's not working. They're not buying it. And I hope more people feel that way, you know? So when the movie ended, I was glad it was over. I really was glad it was over. But yeah, guys, this is crazy, man. I can't believe what a dumpster fire this was. And you know I'm not on either side of the culture war. But this was bad. This was so bad. It's so bad. The CW show is so much better. It was so much better. Like the CW show had me crying sometimes. It had me happy, like so many great things in that show. Bad things too, but overall good. Great supporting cast, great moments, great battle scenes. Even the mother in that was so fantastic, and the aunt that she fights in season 1, and her evil uncle that she has to fight, right? Like they had some awesome stuff in CW, really great stuff, but they didn't have any of that in this. So Lobo was a total failure, a total disaster, a total fanoik. That was not Lobo. And I don't know. That's just how I felt about it. I didn't like anything about it. She didn't do anything that stood out, Millie Alcock. Her lines were horribly delivered, of course, because it's from the horrible book. Guys, if I just go on, I'm going to start repeating myself, but this was a disappointing night. The only good thing was it was nice to get out of the house and do something a little different, get my mind off of something, and it was a great way to just express myself on this. So there's some positives, but it really this Tom King guy, he's got to go. Why do you guys love him so much? Please, somebody tell me why you like this guy so much. He's not that good. He's really terrible. He really did Supergirl dirty in this. They really fucking did her dirty in this. You tell me otherwise, fine. You got a different opinion about it, fine. I'm not going to hate you for it. You could tell me what you think. But this is my thoughts about this movie. It was trash. Thank you guys for listening. Let's talk in the comments. Come on, tell me your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.